All right, folks, I did this once before when I got the Curse of Strahd revamped. And during that video, I mentioned that there would be one more video afterwards for another version of Ravenloft that came out. And today, it showed up. And here's the box with a human for scale. This is the Beadle and Grimm Curse of Strahd Legendary Edition. Really excited. Been dealing with this particular adventure since it first came out when I was like 8 years old or something. But it has never come out in an edition like this one. Let me see here. Anytime I use scissors on a box that's got a book in it, I feel like I'm going to be cutting through the book. You watch these people who do unboxings professionally, and they always make it look so easy to open the box. I guess maybe I just need someone to pay me to open boxes, and I'll get really good at it. All right, so this is the interior. And we'll go through that piece by piece. So let me push this off to the side a little bit. And the first thing that I am so excited to see is this is Beadle and Grimm's Castle Ravenloft. It actually has a picture of Castle Ravenloft on it. You can actually see Castle Ravenloft is on there. It's a tube, and in it are maps and handouts with twine. Oh boy, it's got that new game smell. Oh my goodness. I do have some concerns I'm never getting these back in here again. So there are two handouts. And when I read this, I read that there were battle maps for each level of the castle. But the first thing I'm seeing here is not part of the castle. It's actually one of the many places in Barovia that you can go to that isn't the castle. Oh my lord, there's so many maps here. This is area K4. If I'm not mistaken, these maps have gotten so granular that this is the stable right inside the gate of Castle Ravenloft. So when you go inside the gate, before you enter the castle, and then these look like the towers with the drawbridge of Castle Ravenloft. Wow. This is crazy. Here's K6 with the gargoyles. K82. This is one of the most infamous rooms in the dungeons of Castle Ravenloft. And if you've ever wanted to adventure across the walkway connecting the two towers, this is, look at this stack of maps. This is, I've never seen a stack of maps like this before. This, all right, let me see. I don't know what the best way to do this might be. But this map This is one quadrant of the courtyard of Castle Ravenloft. This looks like if you walk into the castle and you want to adventure in the courtyard, or you're trying to escape and that you end up getting chased around the courtyard, there's a map for that. These look like they're put together so that you could build huge regions of the castle. This is a map of Barovia on some sort of really nice parchment. Unbelievably cool. If you have adventured in Castle Ravenloft in the past, you probably remember there's a tower with something red at the top. This is insane. This is so... There's so much of this. This is just full of maps. It's an entire tube full of maps. Including places that have nothing to do with the original module. This is just one of the places created for Curse of Strahd. It's in Barovia, but it's nowhere near Barovia Village. It's nowhere near Castle Ravenloft. Wow. I was excited to get battle maps for the entire castle. I thought that would mean maps of all the rooms that you could adventure through. I never dreamed that could mean maps of the entire courtyard. So then this map literally just starts where the drawbridge map ends and takes you into the courtyard. And then you can use other maps to complete the courtyard as you need to, based on where your characters travel once they get into the castle. Walkway from castle to castle. And then on this side, this is a map of the crypts underneath Castle Ravenloft, which I've tried building the crypts using Dwarven Forge. That's a nightmare. This looks like not just maps of the entire castle. This looks like maps of the entire campaign setting. I had no idea that there were that many maps. More maps and more maps. That's more maps than I ever imagined. And all of them look like they're just absolutely incredible. So, I think the maps are probably enough, but it comes with the shiny black Legendary Edition Curse of Strahd box with a red interior, just like Dracula's cape. Strahd's cape. They even went the extra mile. It is the perfect amount of bubble wrap to make sure that nothing gets crushed. The first thing you see is Dear great and omnipotent DM, please don't total party kill too quickly. We've put a lot of time and energy into creating this box, and if your players just mosey into the fog of Barovia and immediately die, man, that would suck. For both of us. Sincerely, Bill, Charlie, John, Matthew, and Paul. So there's actually a section here, what's in the box? And it goes through and it lists everything that's in this box. And they're not kidding when it starts out with, oh Lord, there's so much. I thought this was the module. This is a folder. And in this folder are smaller versions of all the maps that I just showed you. So there's even a brochure. Well, it looks like a brochure, but it's actually, this is a breakdown of how to use all of these maps, all those pieces that I just mentioned, so that you can actually build Castle Ravenloft out of these maps. So this actually shows that there are 9 maps that go together to create the ground floor of the castle. So if you're walking around the castle exterior, as intelligent adventurers would, you can actually build that entire map. So you can actually walk around the castle before you go in it, and the maps back it up. So these maps, here's the Vistani encampment, and so many other places. Maps of the villages you can go to, maps of the ruins you can explore. Maps of caves. And again, full of new game smell. Shiny new Taraka deck. This is really cool looking. One thing that's really neat about these cards is you can see the flash in the light. They're actually silver embossed. So you actually have, on the backing, they flash. And then all these cards, much more large than the previous ones, much larger. They feel like Taraka cards, or they feel like tarot cards. And then monster cards. I read that there were monster cards. I had no idea they were going to look like this. This is amazing. So if you are in the dungeons of Castle Ravenloft, there's a relatively famous picture in the original module of a fighter up to his waist in water in a flooded dungeon, and all of these Strahd zombies coming up out of the water towards him to fight him. And so what this is, it has the picture of the Strahd zombie on one side, DM's stats for the Strahd zombie on this side, and it's a tent, so you can put it over your DM screen, and the entire time you're fighting the Strahd zombie, everyone sees the zombie while the DM is able to look at the stats. So there's never any question for either of you what you're fighting or what it can do. And when I look at this looks like, I'm guessing, but this looks like every single monster and NPC in the entire adventure, including the Guardian portrait. All the blights, Strahd's animated armor. I had no idea there would be that many of those. It looks like every monster in the module. Something else I thought was really interesting with Beadle and Grimm is they give you these just three-dimensional tokens, things you can use in the game to actually give to the players to represent what their characters have gotten. So in this one, there's something in this bag. These are coins. These are actual metal coins with the face of Strahd von Zarovich on one side and a raven on the other. So we actually have 3 coins, 3 Barovian coins. And they're made out of metal. You can hear them. Tempted to say that the resale value just went down, but there's no way in hell I would ever sell any of this. You can bury me with it. And then it comes in this nice little velvet pouch that has the same raven symbol that's on the back of the coins. What could be cooler than Ravenloft coins? Well, the actual holy symbol of Ravenkind. Real jewelry. So if your character has the holy symbol of Ravenkind, you can actually have the holy symbol of Ravenkind. It's made out of metal. It's got weight. More visual aids. So it's a tent, so you can hang it over the edge of your GM screen. And on the inside, I see that you're looking at a Vistani campfire scene. Or, if you're seeing this side, I see that you're seeing Barovians. And there are so many other pictures here. Things I'm not even entirely sure I remember from the module. Here is Strahd playing his pipe organ. And here is the Sun Sword. I can't believe how many of these there are. Oh, here's Strahd riding the Wonder Horse. Bucephalus. And for the proper welcome, here is the first visit to the Castle Ravenloft gates. The gigantic stack of visual aids. But this is an actual gigantic stack of visual aids. There are crazy things in this pile. I can't even get into it yet, and I can already see that there are crazy things already in this pile. So the first thing that's here is envelopes. And then parchment to match the envelopes. So you can actually have dinner invitations to Castle Ravenloft. And wax seals to go on the envelopes after you have personalized your invitations. This is a wrinkled, damaged note on the same sort of parchment from In the Adventure. This is the torn page of the Tome of Strahd that everyone has found every time they've gone into Castle Ravenloft since 1982 or 3. I am the ancient, I am the land. It's actually aged and crinkled. Wine labels, 3 different vintages. clean invitation, and then just as you go through, it's one after another of handouts. Here's a legal document that you guys can get in the adventure. Okay, this is the actual fold-out map that you would get in the Curse of Strahd hardback. I guess they just kind of threw one of these in because you're getting everything else. More handouts, different paper, crinkled, damaged, printed on both sides. This is a special scenario just for this. It's Strahd's invitation. When he invites your characters to dinner. And then this is a series of pre-made characters that you could actually play. There's no artwork with these, but they are fully fleshed out PCs that you could play, complete with ideals, flaws, personalities, all of your race, class, background, stats, everything you could need to play any of these characters. So if you want to bring a paladin, a cleric, a warlock, however you want to come at Castle Ravenloft. A bonus encounter. Oh, wow. And what is this? Another bonus encounter. This seems to be 4 bonus encounters. They just added all of this stuff. All this different stuff that you get to play. Yeah, each one of these is a different encounter to add into Curse of Strahd. And then Festival of the Blazing Sun. And then finally down here at the bottom are just a couple more packages. They've broken Curse of Strahd into several books. Now this is what they did. This is what Wizards of the Coast did with the revamped version. And that was literally just, they took it word for word and broke it up into small sections and printed them as paperbacks. I'm curious if that's what this is too. So Chapter 1, Into the Mist. Chapter 2, Lands of Barovia. Chapter 3, Village of Barovia. Okay, this is the first 3 chapters of the hardback book. And then this is Chapter 4. This is Castle Ravenloft, all in one book with a different cover art. And it's actually different wraparound cover art. So they have a whole new set of art. And this book is a full color key to Castle Ravenloft. Everything that you could encounter in the castle, room by room, just like it's presented. And then this is chapters 5 through 9 from Curse of Strahd. Full color, new artwork. And this is chapters 10 through 15 of Curse of Strahd. Some pictures in here that I do not remember seeing from the module or any of the other versions. And then finally a book with a white cover of an appendix, the monsters, and the Taraka deck. And there are some pictures in here. There is artwork in here that is brand new for this version, for this book. All right, I'll qualify. There is at least one new picture in this. And then finally, last thing on, nope, I'm wrong, there's still more. There is a new DM screen. I gotta say, one nice thing about the DM screen that came with Curse of Strahd Revamped is it actually helps a 5th edition newbie with things like difficulty checks and stuff for common rolls. But this, oh my god. Random daytime encounters, random nighttime encounters, important Barovians listed by name. Alphabetized by first name. And if your name starts with the, you're alphabetized under T. But I think what's most amazing about this is a map of the domain of Barovia, and it lists travel times along each road. So if you're traveling from Solenka Pass all the way up to this intersection, it's going to take you 2 hours and 45 minutes to travel that road. And if you're traveling from Castle Ravenloft to the village of Barovia, you're going to, oh, this is the journey from 1983. This is the one that we always took. It's 20 minutes here and then 40 more minutes. And then if you take the long way or the short way past the Vistani encampment, it actually has it all broken down. Wow, that is amazing. And then finally, I know I've said this a few times, but I think this actually is the last one. This, wow, this would be for the final encounter. So you've got your DM screen out, and you've got one last tent, and it's got a giant picture of Strahd, because on the back, this is all Strahd's statistics for the game. It's huge. The entire card is Strahd's statistics, so that you can fight him. All right, there is one more thing here in the main box, which I don't think anybody knows whether or not to take it seriously or not. I was surprised they made such a big deal out of it online when they were selling these, but this bag has Curse of Strahd finger puppets. And so, let's see if they're identified. We have, oh boy, this is gonna prove that I haven't read all of Curse of Strahd. Were creature. There's so many new things in Curse of Strahd that were not in previous versions of the module. Piddlewick II. Bride of Strahd. Someone that you will meet. I don't want to give away the name on that. And Strahd von Zarovich, finger puppet. All right, this is completely overwhelming. I cannot believe all of the stuff that comes in this box. The opportunity to run this at a physical table would be Castle Ravenloft the way nobody has ever played Castle Ravenloft before. I just can't imagine putting all of these out on a table and actually being able to play it. All I can say is wow. And pick a card. You get the Avenger. Good luck with that.